Hi, I'm James Bernard from Propellerhead Software. Today I'm going to show you how to get started using Reason version 4, whether you have the full version or the demo version. After you've installed the demo, launch the application and you'll be brought up with a setup wizard. Click on the next button and now you can select your audio output or audio interface. If you're using an external interface, select it here. If you're using a PC, I suggest that you use ASIO drivers for the best audio performance. Click on the next button and it will now scan to see if you have any external USB controller surfaces, like this Chord keyboard that I have here. Once it finds the surface, click on the Use button and you should be ready to go. Now that you've opened the application, you'll see that on the screen it's loaded up the factory demo song. So looking at the screen, the top area of the screen here is the rack, which is what contains all of your devices, things like your synthesizers, your mixer, and effects. Down here is the sequencer section. This is where you would record your performances from your MIDI keyboard. Down here at the bottom is the transport. If you want to hear the demo song, just press this button here, play. But you can do that on your own. What we're going to do is we're going to actually go through the process of creating a song from scratch. If you look here on the left-hand side down in the sequencer section, if you want to play a sound, click on it here by choosing the sound itself or the device itself, and that will allow you to play the sound on the keyboard. So there we have a Rhodes. If I wanted to play the bass sound, I can just scroll down here and find the bass sound. And you can see that the sound has changed and the focus of the keyboard has changed. So let's go through the process now of creating a song from scratch. We'll close the demo song, go to our File menu, and open up a new song. You can see that Reason has created this empty song that contains a mixer and the sequencer section down below. To start the song off, I'm going to look over here on the right-hand side in the tool window, and you can see a list of the devices that Reason has available here. I'm going to use this Dr. Rex loop player to give me some drums to start the song off. So when I double-click on it, you'll see that it's added to the rack. Over here on the left is where you would select what sound or patch, or in this case, what loop is going to be loaded into the Dr. Rex loop player. I'll click on this folder, and you'll see now the patch browser comes up. On the left-hand side in Locations, you can select sounds from the factory sound bank. I've already got some sounds that I'm going to choose here, so I'm going to go into my favorite section, and I've already got a loop that's ready for me to use. When I click on it and hit OK, the loop gets loaded into the Dr. Rex device. If I want to take that loop and put it into my sequence, I can just push this 2-track button right here. And you can see down below that the notes to play the loop have already been added to the song. I want to make this song that I'm creating just be an 8-bar loop so I can build it in sections. So down here on the transport, we're going to turn the loop on. Now down on the transport again, when we press play, you can hear that loop being played back. I want to change the tempo, so down here we can select the tempo and we'll just go down a bit so it's a little bit more of a slower vibe. The next thing I want to do is add a part to this, and I think a bass part would be a good place to start. I'm going to use the Thor Polysonic Synthesizer. Double click on it and it will load in. I'm going to select the sound. Again, you can choose these from either the factory sound bank or in my case I've got some that are preset. When I play the keys on the keyboard, I've got the sound of that device being triggered. So I want to record a bass part to go along with these drums that are here. I'm going to set up on the bottom transport section a pre-count with the click on so that I can hear a 1-bar lead in and get myself ready to play my bass part. Again, down here on the transport, we can click the red record button and that will start the sequencer going. All right, so I've got my part there. Now, let's say that what I played wasn't really exactly perfect. I could quantize my performance and make it feel a little bit better in the groove. And that's done up here on the right-hand side on the tool window. If we click on the Tools tab, the first selection there is quantized. And I can set the note value and the percentage of quantization. I'm actually pretty happy with what I did there, but if I did want to quantize, you would select the clip that's been recorded, go up here, and push the apply button. Let's add some more parts to this. We'll go to our Devices tab, and I'm going to add another Thor. And this time I want to add some sort of an accompaniment to the bass part. I'll select the sound. And for this part, I think I'm going to use one of the new devices, which is the arpeggiator. Now what an arpeggiator does is it allows you to input the chord on the keyboard, and it will take the notes from the chord and start to play an arpeggio or a pattern. And you can select the pattern, either going in an ascending or down or up and down. And you can hear it. If I start to play the arpeggiator now, you can hear that it's just cycling through the notes that I've played on the keyboard. You can also program a pattern on the arpeggiator, which would allow you to select exactly where the notes that you're playing are going to hit. So if I click on the pattern, you can see here you have step keys, and I'm going to just kind of randomly choose some. And if you listen to it, it's got a little bit more of a feel, a different feel to it. So let's start this sequence again. All right, that's going to work. I'm just going to hit record while this is playing. All right, so again, we'll take what we've recorded there. I'm going to